My name is Billy Geddings, and I live in Manning, South Carolina. I am a woodworker, a wood carver, born on a little small farm in Paxville, South Carolina. I was an outdoor person, and I really always enjoyed the outdoors. As a small boy, I liked doing things with wood. I remember when I would carve out my own little cars. My father, he was also a contractor, a carpenter, and he would bring home some lumber from time to time, and he would let me have scrap pieces. I attended a forestry school. I particularly had an enjoyment of working and being around the swamp trees. And I learned a little later that the tupelo tree was the #1 tree that wood carvers used. I completed that school and I went to work in forestry, originally back in South Carolina on the Francis Marion National Forest. Throughout the years, I have kind of studied even more and more about the tupelo tree, which I started making my first bowl in 1976, a tray. The first step I have is to pick a piece of wood and draw out the pattern of the tray that I want to make. You see the bark on each side of this piece of wood, and that represents the way the tree was growing. That would have been part of the stump. This was a small tree, or maybe the upper part of the stump. And I peel this bark off and finish just like I do the regular wood. Wood carvers only want the trunk of the tree, or the stump part of it. And the reason is it's a softer hardwood. And the tree grows in the swamp where the rivers overflow. And about 80% of the life of a tupelo tree, the stump is in water. I use a old-timey wood chisel and a hammer. You can see the bowl is forming. I use what's known as a side grinder to complete the clearance of the wood on the inside. It's smoothing out the rough places from where I chipped out the wood with the hammer and the wood chisel, and it's getting smoother and smoother. And that's a homemade stationary object there I use. In addition, I do a lot of actual hand sanding. This is a 100 grit sandpaper. Actually, I can go about as fast with this as I can with an electrical sander, and that makes it very smooth. I do all of the work down here that's dusty and all that, and then at the house I do the finishing work. In order to be safe, I use a finish made by the Rust-Oleum Paint Company. The thing I like about Butcher Block, it says it on the label, safe for food contact. You can see the color coming out. What it does is, this is a clear finish. I don't use any stain, so all it's doing is pulling out the natural color of the tupelo wood, the stump. After I make trays, so I'm able to burn deer, turkeys, pheasant. I burn different things on the trays, and I enjoy doing that at night. I don't care too much for television anymore, so I just sit at the kitchen table and do the burning, and I really enjoy that. I'm kind of picky. I'm hard on myself. A tray has to be done right, or then I'm not going to sell it. So I have a number of trays that for one reason or another end up in the corner of my workshop. I've also enjoyed working around in my backyard. I have 2 apple trees, plum trees, pear trees, and peach trees, some blueberry bushes. I just enjoy being outdoors, and I guess that's one reason that I enjoy working with the tupelo tree and making the bowls and the trays, because it's all part of my outdoor love.